You're tuned into the Black Nation of Israel. Yeah, since the passing of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd, I'm gonna say the passing of both of those two men, because certain words we can't not say, you know. So I'm just gonna say, since the passing of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, it comes to mind of scriptures in the book of Obadiah. It makes me think about the book of Obadiah, and these things were written down so that we can see who we are. You see, these things happen to us even in ancient times. They always have, the pale-faced ones always did have a deep-seated hatred toward us. You see, in ancient biblical times, they always did have a hatred. Well, a deep-seated type of, a deep-seated dislike or despising us. You see, and when you read the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, starting in verse 9, it says, "And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence," the reason why Esau may be cut off by slaughter, is say in verse 10, is because for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. You see that? They committed violence against Jacob. The Heavenly Father changed his name to Israel. They committed violence against the Israelites. On up till this date, this present day here in 2020, shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even thou wast as one of them. See, the Edomites was one of them who entered into the gates and cast lots. They took part in the destruction of Jerusalem. Verse 12, "But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction." They rejoiced over Judah's destruction, just like they did Black Wall Street. It comes to mind, Black Wall Street and Rosewood, and the real Black Wall Street was in North Carolina. That was the one that was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was just an extension of it. But the original Black Wall Street was in North Carolina, you see. And this tells you right here that the Negroes of slave descent are Judah, or we Judah, you see. This is another way to tell that we Judah. Look at what happened to Aubrey and George Floyd and many other Negroes before them. And they killing black women too. Yes, black women, Breonna Taylor and that other lady, I cannot pronounce her name, Atalania. They came into both of them women homes. One of them was in Fort Worth. She lived in Fort Worth. And Breonna Taylor, they both came into their home. I mean, the police officers came into their homes and killed them. You see. And Sandra Bland, you see. And no telling how many murders, that took place with the killing of black men and black women, before the internet came out, you see. No telling. No telling how many murders took place, before the internet came out. And this tells that this shows you that we Judah right here. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Yeah, they spoke proudly, egotistical, boasting that Judah was destroyed. Thou shouldest not have, verse 13, thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Payback. You see that? It's coming on the pale-faced ones. You see, it's coming. And what you see with all those routes, and even if it was crisis actors that was doing that, it was still part of judgment and karma coming back on them. You see what I'm saying? Even if it was crisis actors, because the businesses was destroyed, busted out. They lost money, a few, from the time that they had to close down. You see. Even if it was crisis actors that was a part of the looting through George Soros, even if they was paid, they came and paid the looters and the robbers, that was a sign of America's fall, because we ain't never had, we ain't never seen nothing like this all over America, routers and looters. destroying businesses like that. White corporations suffered losses and damages. You know, that's a sign of what's to come. You see, this is a sign of what's to come. That's all it is. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. Verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. Let me raise up these windows right quick. I think that water hose is a little bit too loud. Just a moment. I'm gonna raise up and drown out that noise. I don't know if you all can hear. Whoever listening. Okay. Let's see, verse 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord had spoken it. You see, they would not remain of the house of Esau. For the Lord has spoken it. The point I wanted to make is that we are Judah, and Judah suffered violence under the hands of Esau. You see. And this is proof that we are Judah, and we should embrace who we are. And other people are not dying like this. You know what I'm saying? The other races, like I said before, the other races of people, the Arabs, the Chinese, East Indians, the Mexicans, they are not being shot down. Even the Africans that's here in America, you never see them being shot down. We never hear about them, like the Sudanese or Ethiopians, Nigerians. It's only us. It's only us. You know. And this proves that we are Judah. Because we just read that they committed violence against Jacob. And they rejoiced at the destruction of Jerusalem and Judah. See? Yeah. This is something that I wanted to share. And peace. Until next time, peace.